Hey, what's up, y'all? So let's get into Tyler Perry's Divorce Sisters episode 1. So we start off with Tiffany and was it Gen, Geneva? Geneva. I think her name Geneva. I think that's how you pronounce it. So we start off with them. They're in the carpool. They're in the carpool, little chit chatting about the little sister group they got. It featured Rashida, Naomi, Bridgerton, the other sisters. The divorced sisters. So they in the carpool line at Geneva's um, daughters getting out of school. As they just sitting there doing a little chit chat about the friendship and whatever. And Tiffany is not feeling Naomi, right? She's just not feeling Naomi. And yeah, she got a little stank attitude when it comes to Naomi. So she's planning to watch her niece. Uh, watch Geneva's daughter. They picking up. Plan to watch her when Geneva and her husband William goes off to Italy for vacation. That is coming up. So, so we're gonna get Tiffany been divorced. While they sitting there, Tiffany been divorced for 3 years and been single for 3 years. Yeah, been working and everything, but she wanted to take time to watch her niece while when they get ready to go on vacation. So as they get to the front of the line of the carpool, her daughter's teacher was like, "Oh, hey, Mrs. Washington. So I'm really shocked to see you. I'm usually seeing the nanny and your husband, but she went, I really love it when both parents are involved in everything. But she went, back, have a good day. Tell the daughter have a good day and everything, and whatever. After that, we move on to okay, we move on past that. We move on to uh hold up. Okay. The carpool. Okay. See the knees. Okay. We move past that. So we get into the church. So we're at the church. The church is having a meeting. Um So Rashida is a pastor, just like her husband, who is the head pastor of their church. So apparently during this meeting, they having a banquet that's getting ready to come up. And he wants all the big donors to be there. And Rashida said, hold up. So do that mean you want Frank to be there? Frank, they call him Frank, but his name Franklin. And Franklin was married to Naomi. And he went, well, yeah, he wanted the biggest donors for this bank. We need biggest donors because they trying to expand from the church that they're at to a mega church is what I'm getting. And he need the biggest donors there so that he can make this happen, so that he don't have to have service. These type of have Sunday service, just Sunday service. He can have service during the week, and his wife can and Rashida can end up being getting up on the pulpit and talking for 3 hours. He thought he was joking. She wasn't joking when he said it. So apparently he said, "I need to go now. You need to finish this meeting." So after that, he was belittling her doing that whole little meeting they was having at the church. And so she walked out. She tell Bridgerton, tell the tell the girl Bridgerton, her friend who also works for them, tell her, you go ahead and you finish up this meeting. I gotta go. So she goes and run into her husband before he leaves up out of there with his right hand man. And she said, I need to talk to you for a minute. And she asked the guy, whatever his name was, to, you can go to the car. And he just stood there and looked at the pastor. And the pastor said, go ahead. She said, wait a minute. So he don't even listen to me? Okay. Let me get down to you real quick. So she ended up said, You know, Shane, we didn't have this talk before. Do not belittle me in front of staff in a staff meeting. What that ain't what I was doing. That ain't what I was doing. And so he said we can talk about this later. Cause I gotta get to the council meeting. He in a rush to get to this so-called council meeting. And she went, okay. So after that, we move on past that part. We move back to Tiffany. We move back to Tiffany, Geneva, and now we got Naomi. So Naomi is waiting outside. They at Tiffany, not Tiffany, but Geneva, Tiffany, and her daughter just pulled up into the driveway. Naomi is standing out there because they didn't got Geneva didn't got a new nanny, so you know the nanny ain't gonna let Naomi in the house, so Naomi just waiting there. So we get into it. Naomi saying, "Hey, what this is? What this shit?" And the baby right there doing, you know, strap. So what's going on with my lawsuit? So they got the baby to go in the house. And she get down to the business. She said, like, what's going on with the lawsuit? Well, Geneva is her lawyer. And Geneva said, well, um, you are harassing him. I'm not harassing him. And Tiffany went, that ain't what that's what it looked like. I said, girl, you so nasty heifer already. I'm already not liking you, Tiffany. Tiffany, you coming off a little bit too strong. You mad at this woman for her being mad at her ex-husband. Now ex-husband. You know. So she's suing him, and Geneva is the lawyer for her. She said, "So what's going on?" She went, you just need to be happy with the settlement, Naomi. Just be happy with the settlement and move on. She went, "Oh." She went, "Okay." She went, "All right." She went, you know, better yet, don't even worry about it. Don't even worry about it. She went, I'm gonna get me a new lawyer, and I handle this myself. Train Janine, Train Naomi, you don't gotta do this, Naomi. You just don't gotta do it. Train, no, you ain't gotta worry about it. Train girl, I thought y'all supposed to be my girls and y'all supposed to be on my side, but I see y'all not. She get in her car and drive off. And you know, Geneva was like, I'm so worried about her and stuff like that. And Tiffany said, girl, I need a drink. I said, so we move on past that, y'all. And we move on to the next part we get into, and that's, um, okay. Okay, so next part we get into is Tiffany and Geneva. So Tiffany and Geneva end up calling Bridgerton. Bridget. 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 Yeah, call Bridget. End up calling Bridget. You know, she at the church. You know, she outside just got done with her meeting. Then finishing up the meeting. The pastor she was supposed to do. She finished that up. They call her. Um, she tell them that Jeff may be inviting Frank to the banquet and maybe inviting him to the banquet. Maybe invite him to the banquet, and they have a little conversation. Then they set up because Tiffany wanted to meet up with her before she go get her nails done and stuff. So they ended up meeting up, setting up a meeting to go to lunch and you know and that good stuff. And they wanted to talk to Rashida, but Rashida was in her office. Rashida said, give me 2 seconds," and whatever. And so they ended up getting off the phone with her, hanging up. So uh I said they get off the phone. So we got Bridget and Rashida. So Bridget goes into the room to the office and she asking Rashida what's going on, what's the issue. Rashida is kind of said, I don't want to talk about it. She kind of off and on, like she don't want to tell her, like she want to tell her and she don't. And Bridget said, you know, I do work for you, but you still my girl regardless, and something is going on. And she crying and whatever, wipe away tears and all that good stuff. Then they ended up talking about because she asked her, "Did you tell the ladies anything?" She said, "I haven't told them nothing. I haven't told them nothing at all." But they end up having a conversation. She said, "Now I gotta figure." Now Rashida said she gotta figure out how she gonna uninvite Naomi to this thing because the pastor Jeff is gonna invite Frank. And Bridget said, this ain't gonna work out right because he gonna show up with that white woman. So he cheated on Naomi with a white woman, and she's a scar-bedded woman, and she out for revenge, is what it is. So she got to figure that out and whatever. She asked her, do not tell the other ladies what's going on with her, and whatever. She actually Bridget told her, I'm not gonna tell them anything, but you need to tell them yourself. But she said, the Lord got this and stuff. So she ended up having her call the girls back, and they ended up having a conversation about Naomi and stuff like that, and said that Naomi is on the warpath, and and all that stuff. And if I heard that Frank gonna come to the banquet, they ain't gonna work out and stuff like that. She said there's not gonna be any liquor there. But um Geneva said, we're gonna have a pre-party, so we're gonna have to keep her sober. Just in case they end up going either one goes to the banquet. We gotta keep her sober and comfort her and all that good stuff. And as that's going on, Tiffany was being a straight up bitch. Cause she has an issue with Naomi. And so Rashida called her out. Rashida said, "Girl, she doing the same thing that you did when you went through your own divorce." So mine was different. I said, "Girl, it can't be. You still single. It's been 3 years, and you still single, and still a little. You seem like you are bitter too. But you mad at her because she getting her frustration out the same way she getting her frustration out loud. She's not holding it in. A difference. But they move on past that. They set up to meet up for the pre-party and thing before the banquet. So after that, we ended up getting Tiffany and Geneva. They were together still at Geneva house, just chit chat. And her daughter is in the living room, and her daughter's playing with her dolls, and her daughter went like, damn, you fine. So Geneva went, baby, don't say that. That's not appropriate for a 5-year-old. She said, well, daddy said it to the pretty lady. She said, hold up. She said, pretty lady. So Tiffany said, oh, she just picking up from watching y'all and watching YouTube. And she like, nah. She started in questioning her daughter. Her daughter said, I don't know. She ain't, do you know who the woman is? It's my friend Maddie. My friend Maddie, the lady that brings my friend Maddie to school. Is that her mother? She went, I don't know. She went, what's her last name? She went, I don't know. She went, I don't know. The daughter was like, I don't know. Then the nanny comes in. Nanny said it was time for the little girl to eat. The mom said, hold up. Give her a minute. Tiffany butts in. Tiffany said, let the girl go eat. Go eat. So they have a little chit chat back and forth where she trying to figure out what's going on. She said, girl, don't jump to the conclusion because William ain't that type of person. But she said, wait a minute, you said the same thing about John. She ain't, well, John. She ain't, well, I knew John was a cheating ass. I knew John was a cheating ass. So she, but William don't give me that. He not. She, She said, girl, go ahead and take yourself. Go ahead and go get your nails done, girl. I'm good. She ain't, you sure? She ain't, no, I'm good. You go ahead. So after that, so she goes and do what she need to do. She leaves, and we ended up with. Okay, we move on past that. Naomi. So we at Naomi house. So Miss Naomi, baby, she done called over an escort, y'all. And so the escort asked too many damn questions. He asked her, "Is this your house?" She said, "Yes, come on in." He went, "Oh, this is nice." He went, "Is this?" She went, "Why is you asking all these questions?" He went, I like the decoration. He went, is you gay? Nigga, is you gay? He went, nah. I just know a little bit about that. I know a little bit about decor and stuff. So they ended up getting into the little foreplay and whatever. He said, I just wanted to know what I'm getting into before, because I ain't trying to be jumping out no windows. She went, I'm divorced. He went, oh, you really got him good. She went, hold up, ninja, hold up. You don't think I could have got this on my own? He went, no, not really. So a little back and forth. They ended up getting it in, getting a little nache trois. So we move on past them. So we get back to move on past them. We get into Tiffany and Bridget. So Tiffany and Bridget are at the nail salon getting a pedicure and whatever. And they started because these are the two gossiping queens of the group is what I'm getting. So Bridget trying to get the 411 about Geneva, and Tiffany trying to get the 411 about the about Rashida, who is a pastor herself. Yeah, her husband trying to get the 411. So they going back and forth trying to figure out which one gonna tell. So Bridget ended up saying that I think that there's some things going on between the pastor, St. Pastor Jeff and um the lady pastor, because she's not happy. But then Jennifer said, Tiffany ended up saying, well, what Naomi says about him. You know what Naomi thinks about him. And what's that? What was she said? Naomi thinks says, what Naomi thinks about him. Oh, she really didn't say what it was. She said, well, she went, that ain't Jeff. Bridget went, I don't believe Jeff would do anything like that. I just don't see it. And, and two went, sure, what's that? She went, well, So after that, uh, during a conversation after that, they ended up asking about. She wanted to know about what's going on with Geneva and stuff like that. Let me see. Oh, okay, before we get into that stuff, they still talking about Rashida and her husband, and said that they both thinking like, well, they'll both be fine. It'll work out. So we move on past that. We move on to Geneva. So Geneva is on the warpath of finding out what's going on with her man, and she asked the nanny, "Do you know who Maddie mom is?" The nanny said, no. I never seen the lady that will be with the little girl named Maddie. So she ended up taking herself to the school. She ended up calling the school, talking to the teacher. Teacher said, "Yeah, I seen that there was missed calls. You shouldn't. Is there a problem?" She ain't, no. I just trying to get information on, trying to set up a play date for my daughter and her friend Maddie. I wanted to get the information. The teacher said, "I can't give you that." We believe in privacy. But what you can do is come to parent teacher conference tomorrow. Well, I got a job. I'm a lawyer of a conference. I'm a lawyer of a law firm and a partner of a law firm. And she went, okay. She went, well, but she went, what time is it? She went, 7 o'clock sharp. And I induced y'all then. So that's what went on there. So we move past there. We get back into uh okay, we get back into. I think I missed somebody. Did I? No, no. I know what I gotta talk about. So we get into. I know after that happened, we do get back to Naomi. So at Naomi house, she in the bedroom getting in with the escort. They doing all freaky stuff. They all, yeah. She got him, yeah. And so at the end of the little session, she threw the money at him. Told him, you gotta leave, you stink, get out my house. and he wouldn't leave. He wouldn't leave. He's trying to get to know her a little bit more, and so she on her laptop trying to get into what she trying to get into. He said, "I can help you move over." So he moved her out the way, got her into his on to social. I think it was social media, cause she got in. He went, "Oh, it's a white woman." So he said, "I'm gonna go in here take a shower, and you can watch me while you do this, and then I'm gonna leave." She didn't know. Then she pulled out a she pulled out that piece, pointed it to him. He started. He went, "Do it then, do it then." He licking the piece, and she went. Ugh. He went, "What?" He went, "The stuff that you." He went, "I just helped you with." He went, "I do that on a regular basis." He said, "He went, I can see that the man did something to you, but I can help you with that." She went, "What can you help me with? You just a street ninja." And so he get up and get dressed and stuff, and he leave. We're gonna see how that's gonna go down. So let's get back to so we get back to Tiffany and Bridget. So they ended up back with Tiffany and Bridget. So they ended up spilling the tea. So Bridget said, "Now spill the tea on what you got for me." So she ended up telling her dad, well, uh, Jeanette's daughter actually had supposedly seen her dad telling a pretty woman she's fine and kissing her. So apparently, I don't remember the little girl even saying that she seen daddy kissing the woman, but apparently that's what happened. So that went on there. So we move on to Jeanette. So Jeanette ended up getting herself into the school through the janitor. She went to the child's room, trying to get more information. The janitor told her about Maddie's parents. That the dad is a salesman and the mom owns a yoga pan company. Yoga spelled backwards. Yeah. So she know a little information about what they name. I think their name was Houston's. The Houstons. So we move on to Rashida. So Rashida is in the office with her last client that she had to cancel that day, and come to find out during this counseling session, the girl was so nervous about telling her what was going on. The girl was finna leave. She said, "No, no, you came all the way here, so let's get this through. The Lord will always help you through this." Gave her a little talk. Then the girl told her, "I hope you can forgive me. I've been sleeping with your husband." Baby, and that's where it went off. I said, "Oh, damn." I said, "Oh, I got to get into the next episode now." But that's all I got for y'all. It's your boy, Paul. Thank y'all for tuning in. Like, share, subscribe, and get back at me later. Bye, y'all.